Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode 38 of the TWIT. And this week, we had the map Burnout. I think a lot of people were surprised that it was zones. I certainly was not expecting zones to be the thing that we were playing. And I feel like the zones played kind of weird on this map. I didn't really enjoy it. There's sometimes where one of the zones would spawn, literally, I don't know, it just didn't make any sense. Like, you'd literally spawn on the zone, and the enemy team would have to push across the entire map to test you. And I thought that was kind of weird, not gonna lie. Some people enjoyed it because, I mean, I guess you would rotate spawns, so it's like not that big a deal. So you'd like have one team that had map control and then one that didn't. Still, I would prefer if things were like even every time, if that makes any sense. But that's just me. And that was what we had for the week. And we did not get World's First this week. We played the Ice Titan team twice, so that's probably why. Because ultimately, you are trying to go for World's First card. That's really what it comes down to, is just who you match. And we matched probably one of the toughest teams that you can ask to match at that point in time, which is 3 Behemoth Titans, just like going for it. And we beat them both times, obviously, but oh, did they stall. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for on a first card, is just to not lose. So I'm not really displeased. We did the best we could. So anyway, moving on to the weapons for the week. Immortal was the absolute #1 weapon without any contest, at a whopping like 10 million kills, pretty much, or 11 million actually, or it was like 11.2 million. Just an insane amount of kills. And I mean, oddly enough, actually, its headshot percentage amongst SMGs, like I'm looking, 6 million with 9% and 4 million, like the normal one, with 7%. So obviously people are hitting headshot kills with this thing more than they would with like an Aikilos, because Aikilos is at 3 with 1 million. I don't know. That is completely, like, the fact that we are going to continue to have Immortal be the #1 weapon in the game for another, like, at this point, I think 7 weeks is just absolutely bogus to me. Like, I just can't believe they do that. I mean, I'm not surprised either, but it sucks that, like, we can literally see it happening. Like, we see what they're doing, and we're just like, man, why are you doing this again? Please. Very, very unfortunate. There is some good things to look forward to, despite the grim idea of Immortal being the only weapon that is at the top for next couple weeks, or next like month and a half. We are going to be having Flawless Pool being removed. This week actually was the first week, or last week rather, of Flawless Pool this season, and we're going to be getting well, we already have Fireteam based matchmaking, but we're also going to be having Trials Lab in the mid-season update, and they're going to be using the mid-season update to gather information on the new matchmaking systems they're wanting to implement, which is going to be removing Flawless Pool and ticket based matchmaking in favor of something different. And it's supposed to allow players to play with friends without worrying about whether they've gone flawless, remove the motivation to reset cards in order to farm or carry, and better protect players who are struggling to find success in the playlist, which are all, I think, currently pressure points of Flawless Pool. I think if you go flawless, a lot of good players can go flawless who want to play with people that aren't as good, worry about playing with people that aren't as good because they don't want to lose, or they don't know if they're flawless, which is understandable. And, you know, obviously removing the motivation to reset in order to farm or carry, I mean, it's not removing the motivation, it's removing the ability to, because you can't anymore under this new system, if I remember correctly. So this is actually one of the first times that I'm actually going through and reading this as I'm recording this video. I've talked about it with other people, but so they're implementing, we will now have 2 active soft pools. Soft means that matchmaking initially prefers to blend, or not to blend pools, but will, if necessary, to find a game quickly. The distinction is not as dramatic as the one between flawless and non-flawless in the current system. Challenger pool. This is where most players who currently play Trials on a week-to-week basis and who want to go flawless will play. It represents an experience more like the original iteration of Trials in D1, without the focus on making games more difficult as the card progresses or after you've been flawless. This pool matches solely based on connection. There is no matchmaking based on tickets, wins on ticket, wins, weekly wins, or skill. Players who have any card with no losses, including a card after reset, or those playing with someone in their fire team that has a card with no losses, will be placed in this pool. Practice pool. This pool is targeted at a new or less experienced players who are not yet ready to give going flawless a shot. shot. Represents a place for them to dip their toes in the trials without being thrown straight into. This pool match is based on connection and weekly performance. How well you've done in trials this week, reset every week. Only players with a flawed card or those on their first game of the week can play in this pool. Everyone in your fire team must have a flawed card or be on their first game of the week. This pool, if you are constantly struggling, it will reduce your weekly performance rating to give you slightly easier matches. Farming protection. If this system detects that you are in a fire team, you are likely attempting to farm the practice pool. It will slow down your matchmaking times initially, and it will lock you into challenger pool for the remainder of the week, regardless of the current state. So I think that sounds pretty good. This is my first time covering it, like I said, and it's still, there's a lot to keep track of there, so it's I feel like it's very convoluted, but I mean, it sounds like it's going to be kind of easier to deal with. It's going to just make it a better experience for everyone that's playing, for the most part, or maybe be a more equal experience, I guess. Like, the people, sounds like it's going to be better for people that aren't, like, really bad at the game, if that makes any sense. Or not really bad, that's maybe not the best way to word it, but the people that like would struggle and kind of need the flawless pool to go flawless, like those people, I see this as kind of taking away from that. It's like this isn't helping them too much per se. Like, I feel like this is helping people that are better than that, don't need to do that, but I don't know. It's interesting because there's going to be fire team based matchmaking as well in the middle of this, and there's also some changes coming to the passages. Apparently wealth will reward extra trials rank on every win. The amount rewarded increases as your major rank increases. Mercy is also going to be forgiving 2 losses now. It's going to be even easier to go flawless, which I think is a good thing, because at the end of the day, we've already seen what trying to cater the game to hardcore players does to the playlist, and it just doesn't work. The bottom line is we need to respect players' time and give them a reason to grind. And if they don't have that, then they're just not going to play. And also, I mean, heavy emphasis on giving them something to grind for, because for example, this week we had the bow. The bow, dude. No one wants the bow, man. Like, the bow is like actually potentially the worst gun in like any endgame activity. There's literally like a million different bows that, in my opinion, are better for it, or better than it in PvE and PvP. So that's gonna be. Anyway, one last thing. Season 21 we'll be getting Meltdown, and then a Vex network map in Season 22, and then Citadel. That's good. We're getting 3 maps, so the next couple of seasons will be in maps. That's great. But yeah, to cover Trials, that's pretty much everything for Trials. I'm looking forward to something different besides Flawless Pool, and I'm happy that we're finally getting a change. Let me know in the comments below how you guys enjoyed this week, and let me know how you feel about what is coming, and I'll try to respond in the comments below as much as I can. I like it personally. Like I said, I think it's a good thing. I'm just happy that we're not going to have Flawless Pool anymore, and I'm hoping the new system isn't worse than it in terms of like difficulty. Let me know in the comments below if you are excited. I am. It's for something different, like I said, because honestly, it is incredible to me that Bungie let Flawless Pool be a thing for as long as it was, with how much people complained about it. Like, but I mean, there was people that liked. At the same time, it's just like, it was clearly a system that was flawed at its core and was extremely easy to exploit. I don't know how that wasn't seen as a problem to them, and they even had developers playing with people that were exploiting the system, which, I mean, is what it is. But crazy that, I mean, I guess that one developer can't really help it, but it's just like wild. It's still a thing. Anyway, we'll end the video there. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps out the channel a ton. Also, subs are greatly appreciated, because as of right now, 57% of my viewers are not subbed to the channel. In addition, if you'd like to come say hi to me live, I stream over on Twitch pretty much every day. And if you're looking to get into contact with me, I've got a Twitter, and I'm very active with it. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.